Well, you might say the mood here at 2311 Racing is kind of like the mood after watching Michael Jordan sink a three-pointer to win Game 7 of the NBA Finals. For Tyler Reddick on Sunday at Talladega, the beginning of the last lap, it looked like victory was slipping from his hands. But as it all played out, it ended up falling right into his hands.
The way things happen at speedways, you fight really hard all day long. Whether that's through strategy or like we used to see more 5-6 years ago where you push really, really hard all day in the draft. And so you just, you put a lot of preparation in and a lot of things have to line up and you have to do your job all day long on the racetrack and getting to pit road, on pit road, and leaving it. And, for me, just the sequence of it all, it felt like, okay, we got a 50-50 shot here, me and Michael do. And on that last lap, it looked like it was kind of falling away, unfortunately. So for us to have the situations take place that did, to where we were still able to sneak away with the win, just made it that much more sweet. I think on top of that, we've had enough speed to win a couple races this year, and unfortunately, we just haven't gotten the job done yet. So we've had a few stolen from us, I feel like, so far this year. So it's nice to be the one doing the stealing.
Speedway races are so hard to win anyway that. To get that with Michael there, with Jordan Brand on the car, him on site, and the excitement around it, it was something that you wouldn't even script, So it was amazing. Still kind of sinking in, but we're getting to that point where we got to get ready for the next one too.
Typically, the nature of this drafting style now, it's just the two lanes, and it's the winner's going to come from one of the first 2 or 3 rows of those 2 lanes. So. Definitely seeing my outside lane kind of fall back from the Fords. I thought that was pretty much going to be it. I thought they were going to fan out, and I was just going to end up pushing, unfortunately, another Ford, one of those other Fords to victory lane. So, when they fanned out and they got all stacked up and Michael and Brad were changing lanes, it just ended up being the perfect scenario. But, yeah, certainly I thought coming off of 4, I was just going to be fighting for 3rd or 2nd or 4th. Trying to still have still make sure we cross start finish line, and ultimately we got a whole lot more than that. I'm in a position where I'm leading my lane, so I can see what's happening. Martin Truex and Josh Berry and those that are behind me in my line may not be able to see what's taking place. I think Noah Gragson could probably see it, but I think Ross and those drivers back on the inside lane can't really see what's happening. Their spotters trying to communicate to them, hey, get ready for a push. Your help is tight with you. And you're tight with the car in front of you, right? So they're trying to keep an eye on that because there's going to be a lot of pushing happening in the last couple seconds. So it's difficult to look at your own situation as a spotter and then have your other eye paying attention to what's happening at the front.
But ultimately, it comes down to them, and especially when we had teammates behind us like we did there at the end with the 19 and 54 pushing us, that they were just focused on keeping them behind us, so they could help all the way to the end. And when it comes down to it, some of it's just instinct. He never lifted there coming to the checkered, and the seas parted and found his way through.
The memories that your son will have of that day, I'm sure you got to see some of the video now afterwards. To have Michael Jordan holding him and celebrating a win like that, that's an unbelievable gift that you can't replace.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment. Obviously, I think I mentioned it as well, but I wasn't even really sure that Michael was there until my crew chief Billy Scott said we were taking Michael to victory lane, and I only saw what I saw till I got to victory lane, and when I got to victory lane, Michael's holding Bo. That was cool, and my son knows who Michael is, but I don't think it's hit him right. He understands what he's accomplished, and what he means to our team, and the shoes we wear on our feet. That's all him, right? But I think as he gets older, it's really going to sink in what that moment is going to mean. It's crazy moment for me to see from afar. I can only imagine years down the road what he's going to think when it really sinks in.
Getting him to celebrate with our company in some respect in victory lane has been one of the goals from the start. And Denny gave him a hard time a lot of being a bad luck charm because he'd show up and something would inevitably go wrong. So yeah, like you said, it doesn't matter who it was, just getting him in victory lane, getting him to experience that excitement. He was just genuinely excited for everybody else to be there, be a part of it. I don't know how long it's been since he's celebrated a win for something, so that was pretty special.